Hey, everyone. My name is Wendy Susan Richmond, and I am the founder and CEO of Results Matter Dental Marketing, Results Matter Marketing, and it's Marketing Mondays. So today we are going to talk about statistics and about, what really to look for when you're doing marketing and the real results. The reason why I called my company Results Matter, because it's really about what is the end result? Okay. And whatever you're investing in as far as your marketing goes, it has to give some kind of results, or what we talked before about omnipresence. And that if you do a whole bunch of things and you keep pumping out content, keep pumping out on social media and print and all these different ways, following up with whether it's your customers, clients, patients, all of those things matter as well. And so, but ultimately we have to, is the amount of income, revenue going up? Is it going in the right direction? And, how are we going to get it there based on the kind of marketing that we're doing? So, if you don't know who I am, over the last 10 years, I have been a marketing director for several multi-million-dollar dental practices, and now kind of branching out to help other businesses when it comes to their marketing. And one of the ways that we do this is to talk about these different kinds of things that when I'm looking and potentially going in to look at and to work with a client, we start to talk about when it comes to, well, what are they currently doing as far as their marketing goes, and how many new clients, new patients, revenue, like what's that end result, right? And you need to know what the end is, what your goal is. Where are you currently now? Where are you going to be? Where do you want to be? And how much are you going to invest? And how much do you need to invest to actually get you to that goal, right? That ultimate result. And so when I'm looking at doing marketing for a client, I look at various things that they're currently doing, and are they actually documenting? It's all about, when it comes to statistics, it's about documenting as much as you can statistically so you can see what's actually happening. So for example, and I'll give you a dental example, but it's the same, doesn't matter what business it is, but it's just easy when I can, talk to you in these terms. So keeping data about what are you currently investing when it comes to your marketing? All right. So that's kind of one thing. And how much are you, what's your overall budget? That, what we look at. But the other thing we look at is, how are people finding you? And are you even asking people, how did you find? I always, when I'm talking with a client, talk about, well, as that first conversation goes, and whether that conversation is with text or whether that conversation is when somebody picks up the phone, whatever, is to first ask, how did you first hear about us? Just curious, how'd you first hear about us? Right. And then you document it. So it's one thing is to know, but another is to actually document it and put it in your CRM, your customer relationship management software, whatever it is. And so then you can actually document that statistic of where are your people coming from? How are they actually finding you? So then this way we know, okay, well, it's one indicator as far as statistics go, that is actually working. So for example, when somebody says, oh, yeah, I saw you on Facebook. And if you know that you're running ads on Facebook or you're posting a lot on Facebook, you could even ask even further, like, well, I'm just curious, like what was it that about that ad? What ad did you see? Or what post did you see? What was it about that post that was so interesting to you? And taking all of that data, that's data, and taking it and writing it somewhere so other people can see it, especially when it comes to anybody doing marketing for you and your company. And even just if it's you. So you'll know, okay, if we got, for example, 25 new patients, and we see that 5 of them came in from Facebook, 5 of them came in from Google. Somebody did a search for us on Google. And then, we don't know where 3 of them came from, patient referrals. You have all of these statistics, because when you can look at those, and especially if you look at trends and you over a month to month, you can see, if you're investing more money in Facebook, for example, are you getting more new patients, customers, clients from Facebook? Is it correlating at all? Are you spending more money on pay-per-click? Is that correlating to now you're getting more, you're getting more new business from that marketing source? Now, it can be a challenge though when it comes to statistically knowing what is coming from exactly where. It depends on how you set up your marketing. And if you are running, say, for example, a Facebook ad, and you run them to a landing page, which is ideal, and then somebody comes in through that landing page, well, then it's that ad, that landing page is actually bringing you that new business. If you just run an ad and maybe drive people with a special phone number, so if somebody picks up the phone and calls through that number, well, wherever that number was attached to, well, there's another way you can statistically see that that is actually working for you. If they, say that if you run an ad though and you drive them to your website. Now, there are some type of marketing, which is actually quite wonderful, where you can have phone numbers on the website that will dynamically change depending on how somebody gets to your website. And they will then be able to, you'll know that, okay, this person came from this marketing based on the fact that they picked up the phone and called through that call tracking number. So we know that there's a connection between all of that. So, these are the types of things you want to document. And if you're not documenting it, you're missing out on a whole bunch of, knowing what's happening when it comes to your marketing. Now, there is definitely something to be said for, like I said before, omnipresent marketing, right? Which means that you're doing everything and you're doing as much as you can. So for example, ideally is when you ask somebody when they call in, how did you hear about us, or how did you first hear about us? And they say, well, a friend told me about you. And maybe that friend happens to be part of, the practice or the business. But then I saw you on Facebook, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, now I'm gonna pick up the phone and call. So now you have two possible referral sources for that to statistically look at and write in there, so exactly, okay, well, we're doing something right, because now we're hearing two different referral sources that are coming to us, which means that whole omnipresence is working for you. Because when people see you all these different areas and places, and sometimes it takes many, many times, they might need to see you 5, 10, 12 times before they even will do anything. Or maybe it's not the right time for them. But if they see you over a period of time, we'll just say, if we're in a dentist and you keep saying that you're an emergency dentist, and then somebody has an emergency and you're top of mind because in omnipresent, well, then one, they're going to find you when they search you. And then, or two, they're going to have your information will pop up because you have been around and they keep seeing you. So when that time is right for that particular service, no matter what it is, they will have seen you so many times that you're the one that they're going to pick no matter what. So that is, key when it comes to statistics, is keeping them, right? Number one, you must keep them. You must actually document and have spreadsheet. You can do basic spreadsheet. I'm all about how can we make this nice and simple? And so I will do a Google spreadsheet and I share it with my clients. So they will document where they come from, or I'll document if I'm doing a certain kind of marketing where I would know specifically. And then I will then keep track over months, and we see, is it trending up? Is it trending down? If it's trending down, there's something wrong. We need to do something about it. But if you don't keep those statistics, let me tell you, you don't know. And you're just kind of at a whim. I have, one client who is actually very successful, and he could be more successful. And the challenge is that he's got so much going on and he's not really keeping track of any of it. So we don't really know what's working. All he knows is that if he spends more, he makes more. And that's a strategy. So if you happen to have, deeper pockets and understand that the one that spends the most usually wins when it comes to whatever your competition is, you can do that. But at the very beginning, if you're just starting to get a handle on all this, really keeping track of where you're getting your new business from and documenting it, looking at the statistic, looking at it even weekly to see, is it going in the right direction or is it not? And those are the kind of statistics that really matter when it comes to the results that my clients are getting, is that we really hone into those types of things. And even one of the statistics that you want to keep is when somebody says yes to you and they actually are a buyer. So you want a buyer statistic. And buyer statistic is different than someone who hits your website, or somebody even picks up the phone and calls, or even comes in. Those are certain statistics you want to keep. However, one more statistic you want to keep is who is buying and where are they coming from. So if you're finding that there is a group of people that are either hanging out, maybe they're hanging on Facebook, maybe they find you on YouTube, maybe they find you on Snapchat or TikTok or whatever. But if you're not documenting where did they first hear about you, then you will never know. And especially if you want to retarget and find more people just like them, you need to know who they are. You need to know who's actually the buyers that are finally coming into your business or your practice. Okay, so if you're not looking at your statistics and not keeping statistics and keeping them every single day, every time new business comes in, what's happening with it, then you know what, you're missing out on a whole bunch of income and revenue coming into your business or your practice. So this is my tip for today, is about measuring statistics. And if you're not doing it, start. And if you are doing it, what are some of the statistics maybe you're not doing, like your buyer? Are you doing your buyer statistics and adding? Because more statistics, let me tell you, especially if you're looking at the ones that make the biggest results, those ones I would start with immediately, versus like how many likes you have or how many shares or any of those types of things on, say, your social. I mean, those are all good things to know eventually, but if you're just kind of getting started with all this, knowing statistically where people come from and who's buying from you, it'll make it so you will be more focused on where you can have your marketing dollars go, and that will help you again get to whatever goals you want, whatever results. Let's say this way, whatever results you want, right? Again, with getting your statistics in order. All right. So with that being said, thank you very much. Marketing Mondays. We will see you next week with another marketing tip. Bye-bye.